On today's episode, we break down settlement costs, and there are two things happening in the market this week that matter if you're buying a home or if you're a real estate professional advising buyers. My name is Mark. Welcome to the Gentleman Broker Mortgage Brief. For our education lesson of the day, we're going to break out settlement costs or closing costs into three buckets: lender and loan, title and escrow, prepaid, and reserves. Now, these are shown on either your loan estimate at the beginning of the process or as the closing disclosure right before the deal is done. What is commonly misunderstood is not all closing costs are actually costs. Some are fees and some are prepayments. Now, the typical cost for all this is usually around 3 to 5% of the purchase price. So first we have lender and loan, what it costs to get the loan. We have origination fees, underwriting and processing fees, points if you're buying down the rate, credit report, and appraisal fees. This is the cost of the money. Next, we have title and escrow, what it costs to transfer ownership, title insurance, escrow fees, closing and agent fees, recording fees, and notary fees. This is the cost of making the home legally yours. Finally, we have prepaids and reserves. This is where you'll have your escrow account set up, property taxes, typically prorated a few months, homeowner's insurance also prorated, and per diem interest. This is the interest you have to collect from the closing date to your first payment. So this isn't a fee, you're just paying things that you would owe anyway. That's your quick lesson for the day. Reach out if you have any questions, or you can add them to the comments and I can dive deeper. All right, as I mentioned, we have two different activities happening right now in the housing market that everybody needs to understand. The first is cash buyers versus first-time buyers. Cash buyers are here, and first-time buyers are desperately trying to enter the market. As we know, over the years, existing homeowners have built up a lot of equity. So when they sell, they aren't just selling and walking away. They're taking that equity and paying cash for a downsized home that otherwise would be a starter home for a first-time buyer. No financing, no lender delays, no appraisal issues. And if you are a seller, which buyer sounds better to you? That's what first-time buyers are up against right now. It's not just higher rates, it's stronger competition. So agents, what does that mean for you if you're working with buyers? It means your offer has to feel stronger than it used to. It means we have to clean up the structure, which means make this offer feel simple, predictable, and low risk to the seller. Cleaning it up means tightening and even shortening timelines for inspection, financing, and closing when appropriate. Limit unnecessary contingencies, being clear on our financing, and avoiding unnecessary conditions. So this means buyers should be with a real estate agent that have a solid network of inspectors, contractors, and other subject matter experts to jump in and give buyers clear answers and solutions to problems quickly. We also have to provide a strong pre-approval. We need to strengthen the position, not just the price. Agents should coach buyers to get fully underwritten, not just pre-approved. If you can't beat cash on price, we need to beat them on certainty. 2, write offers that remove seller doubt. Agents should guide buyers to be flexible on closing dates, increase earnest money within their comfort, and leverage seller credits strategically instead of price cuts. The second activity going on is inventory versus price reality. Inventory is rising, and most people hear that and think, good, prices should come down. But that's not what we're seeing. According to the National Association of Realtors' latest housing data, right now we're sitting at about 4.1 months of inventory. A balanced market is typically around 5 to 6 months. That benchmark comes from groups like the National Association of Realtors and economists who track housing supply and demand. So even though inventory is improving, technically we're still not in a buyer's market. What we actually have right now is not a supply problem, and it's also not a demand problem. It's a timing problem. Sellers are slowly coming back to the market. Buyers are cautious because of the cost of living and the rates as well. But the demand is still there. And when rates drop, and they will continue to drop, the demand will show up all at once. And that's when competition increases again. That's why buyers should focus on payment strategy, not market timing. And as their guides to home ownership, we need to focus on temporary buy downs, seller credits to reduce rate, and helping the buyer in understanding refinance opportunities later. And look, this isn't about trying to get people into loans to make a commission. Most loan officers make commission based on loan amounts, not the rate. So that being the case, a buyer waiting doesn't hurt a loan officer. Historically, that home at $500,000 will grow in value 3% a year. And after 5 years, that's $79,000 in added value, which is about $16,000 per year. As a buyer, are you able to outrun the price of the home by $16,000 per year, especially just to save $200 a month on a lower interest rate? This is what I'm here for. I'm a resource to you. Again, if you have any more questions or need a little guidance, you can always contact me at thegentlemanbroker.com. Finally, I will leave you with this quote by Seneca. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This has been your mortgage brief for the week. For everyone watching, I hope today is the start of a productive week. I hope you are proud of the work you are doing. My name is Mark, and I am the Gentleman Broker.